edition of High School Lowdown. For Jeff Bird and Ernest Boker, I'm Steve Wilson. Well, Heidelberg will be at PCA, and that's going to be a huge district game for the Eagles.
Yeah, for both teams, really. Heidelberg hadn't locked up a playoff spot yet. PCA more or less has. They need to win one more, have Park Place lose one more. But both teams kind of coming in struggling a little bit. PCA won last week and lost 2 in a row before that. Heidelberg's lost 3 in a row, 3 ugly games in a row. So both teams really need a win. The winner will probably host a playoff game. So it's just, like you said, just a huge district game for both teams.
Well, talking to Wade Patrick after the win over Silva Bay, he was really happy with the fact, A, they were able to establish the running game with Wayne Gaston, and B, they were able to mix in the passing game with Jonah Masterson.
Yeah, talking to Wade this week, he likes what they're doing on offense. They almost are like schizophrenic on offense. They'll run the spread one series and then go to the power eye and just pound it at you the next. And he really likes that mix that they have going, where they can do both, give teams a lot of looks, and really confuse the defense.
Well, St. Aloysius will be hosting Stringer, and St. Aloysius is not exactly coming off the best of games against Resurrection.
So how was your game down there in Pascagoula, lovely War Stadium?
Well, the point I made in my story was obviously Resurrection, a third-year reboot team. They had football up until 1986. 3 years ago, they brought the program back, and St. Al's been playing football since the early 1900s, basically continuously. And if an uninitiated observer saw the game, they would have thought that St. Al's the starter. They had 4 botched snaps. They had 2 interceptions. They had penalties. It seems like they have a predilection for penalties at the absolute worst occasions.
Well, this week they play a Stringer team that's has averaged 400 yards on a game on the ground, led by Tevin Moore. So the St. Al's got their work cut out again this week. And then, like I said, they're trying to see if they can stop the slide of 4 straight games where they've just not shown up and played well at all.
Well, WC will be hosting Murrah, and Murrah is not the Murrah of old.
Well, Murrah's always had potential. They've always been one of those teams where if you mess around with them, they weren't the best team, but if you mess around with them, they had enough athletes to really scare you and maybe pull an upset like they did against Clinton last week.
Or against Vicksburg last year.
But the one against Clinton, that's a win that can put you on the map, and that really just threw this entire region into chaos. Everybody assumed Clinton was going to be the third team on Northwest and Madison Central. Now, Clinton's looking at Northwest this week and possibly 3 district losses. So everybody's right there in that mix for those 3rd and 4th playoff spots. It really opens something up. And Warren Central's one of the teams that's in the mix, even though they're 1 and 3 in the district.
Well, that would be 4 teams that are tied for 1 and 2 down there for those final 3 spots.
That's correct.
I mean, the final 2 spots.
That's correct. And if Warren Central can win this one, then they'll be 2 and 2 right there with Murrah and possibly Vicksburg and some other teams. And like I said, just total chaos in that region. It could be even messier by the end of this week.
Well, I know you were at the Warren Central-Madison Central game last week, and you saw that Warren Central finally got a rushing attack going. Yeah, they ran the ball. Aaron Stamps ran the ball really well, really hard. And they matched up well with Madison Central as far as line size of each one's line. But if Warren Central can do that, that's really going to help open up their passing game, complement both of them. And it's really going to give them another facet on offense, make them a much better football team. Well, Vicksburg will be hosting Madison Central, and Madison Central will be bringing their patented triple option attack to Memorial Stadium.
And that's something Vicksburg has not been good at this year at all, stopping the run. They had trouble again last week, even in the option, because 2 of the big plays that Greenville ran was the option pass, an option run to Greg Foster. He scored on 2 end-run plays, and like I said, they did have a goal line stand last week, which is amazing because it stopped them, kept them. It was in the 4th quarter. Greenville drove. They stopped them on the 1-yard line. Norman Price and Kenneth Tyler continued to play well, even on both sides of the ball. It was also the best offensive running game Vicksburg's had all year with Darius Youngblood. They ran
career high, 140 yards.
Ran a little trap with him inside the guards, and it was especially on the last drive. Lamar Anthony had a big kickoff return. They ran Darius 3 times, got down to the 25-yard line, had 3 incompletions, but on 4th down, they hit the long pass to Lamar.
Bottom line, what does it take for Vicksburg to win this one?
400 yards for Cooksey and a good defensive effort. I mean, at least stop them. At least get maybe a stop here and there. Keep them to a field goal here.
Be a speed bump, not a smooth bit of tarmac. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of High School Lowdown. For Ernest Boker and Jeff Burke, I'm Steve Wilson. Be sure to check out our sports section and check out all the happenings on PittsburghPost.com.